Jerry and Debbie starts now.
Hi there, it's EWTN Radio, and a lot of talking is done on many of the programs because they're call-in shows just like this one. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Jerry Usher with Debbie Giorgiani and you are the key person every day of this program, but Debbie especially on our last Friday of the month when we have Unscripted. We don't come with a topic, we just let you talk about whatever you want, dear friends, so start calling now.
Yes, this is our Unscripted where you can ask us anything. You can revisit past topics or shows. You can suggest new topics for us to put on the calendar. If there's something you want us to talk about in a very grand way with everybody that's listening, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands, so that's exciting. Please call in today and share what's on your mind or on your heart. All you got to do is call this number, 833-288-3986. It's unscripted, so light up those phone lines. And Jerry, we have so much to share today, so much. I mean, it's just a day of celebration. May I just say it's my dear sweet mother, Connie's 89th birthday. She turned 89 today, and she's still with us. She's hanging in there. She's very frail. She's missing seeing us in person. We FaceTime her throughout the day. So please, I just want to thank the Take Two family for praying for Connie. I told her she's got a gigantic family praying for her, and she was very, very happy about that.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for that, Debbie. We're always praying for your mom, and God bless you and Marty for all that you're doing, and your sister Marianne and all of your family. Here's the phone number to be on today's Unscripted program. Same as usual, the phone number, 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. If you haven't been talked out about it, you can share with us how you're faring during what we hope will be the latter stages of the shutdown. Maybe we can get the country open up and running again pretty soon. Maybe, as Debbie said, you called on a previous program and didn't get on the air. You want to share your take on something. If you have faith questions, Debbie and I will do our best. We are sort of apologists, but not like the Colin Donovans and David Anders and Tim Staples and Jimmy Akins of the world, but we would do our best. So it's anything goes. Maybe you've gotten some spring cleaning done and you want to brag a little about that, or you're discerning your vocation and you want to share how God is moving in your life. It could be anything that you talk about today on the program.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a good one. I love the Unscripted show. It's just so much to share together as a Take Two family. And Jerry, I can't wait any longer. I'm going to give the number, but I really need you to share the wonderful email we got in from Philip. I can do the background of when Philip called in for our urgent prayer request show. But I'm so excited. I have just been beaming about this the youngest addition to Take Two family. I love it. But it's Unscripted today. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to ask, please call in at 833-288-3986. The show moves very quickly, and we don't want to leave you on the phone lines and go into the weekend without hearing your voice. So stay with us, call in and speak to Ryan. He'll answer the phone very quickly. He's very good at it, very efficient, Ryan is.
He is. All right, we will get to that wonderful news about baby Veronica in just a minute. Stay tuned for that. It's just going to come up in a minute or two. But this is the power of prayer and the power of your prayers, Take Two family. First, though, we want to mention we are excited to welcome a new member of the EWTN radio family. Hello to everyone listening on FM 94.9 WOHA. Those call letters are being standing for One, Holy, and Apostolic. And we appreciate all of you, the great work by Deacon Jeff Compton and his hard-working team at Holy Family Radio. They worked very hard to bring this new station into life. So another welcome to Holy Family Radio, WOHA, FM 94.9 in Ada, Ohio.
It's amazing. How many additional souls does it reach?
They can cover a potential 200,000 new listeners.
Wow. Think about that, folks. Think about that. So, you know what? The programs that everyone's listening to right now in Ada, Ohio, you know what? This is amazing. This is just a great opportunity to evangelize, to help others grow in their faith. So it makes a difference. Catholic radio makes a difference. So please keep listening at 833-288-3986. That's the number to call if you want to get on the show. You can listen or get on the show. We'd prefer you to get on the show because it's unscripted and you get to ask anything you want or suggest anything. And wow, Jerry, the family is growing, and you know how I love that. I came from a big family, so did you, and we just love huge families.
Yeah, the affiliate family we just mentioned has grown, and as Debbie said, our human family on earth and the body of Christ has just grown. The Take Two family has just grown by one. Philip from Snowflake, Arizona, called in on our last prayer show, and his wife was having a difficulty. They needed a C-section with her delivery, and Philip wrote in and said the prayers were needed and heard. Baby Veronica had a rough start. She swallowed a lot of fluid at delivery that got into her lungs, so she had to go to the NICU for a few days on oxygen and then have some light therapy to help with jaundice. Once she was breathing well on her own, we were able to go home, and he says we're home now and very thankful to God and everyone who prayed for us. And again, Take Two family, that's you. Way to go.
Praise be to God. Philip, congratulations on baby Veronica, and I believe your wife's name is Carla. We are just so thrilled. Thank you for calling in at that last prayer show. See, folks, this God, I Need You Now, the urgent prayer request show that we did on April 15th. You guys prayed. God heard your prayers, and little Veronica was born. Beautiful baby. Philip sent us pictures. Okay, now, let me just state this. All babies are beautiful, but this baby is just super. I mean, you just want to squeeze this baby and hug this baby up. And so congratulations to our newest little member of the family, Veronica. I love it. I love it, Jerry. This is what it's all about. This is why we do this show.
It really is a blessing. And so we want you to call today, and you can share. Maybe you had a new addition to your life. Maybe you would like to remember someone that you've lost recently. Maybe you are missing a loved one because of this coronavirus, and you've been prevented from being in the presence of someone you love. I think I might have mentioned on yesterday's show, a good friend of mine, his parents reside in the same convalescent center, but they have not been able to see each other. And all the husband is asking for is, can I just see my wife once a week? I just want to hold her hand for a moment and give her a kiss, but he hasn't been able to do that. So maybe you're experiencing that. Maybe you're just feeling joyful right now and grateful. Whatever it is, just call and let the world know about it at 833-288-3986.
Yep, that's the number. I'll say it again, nice and slowly. 833-288-3986. Remember, this is your show, so please call in. We're waiting to hear your voice.
Now, not only can you watch EWTN anywhere but anytime with EWTN On Demand. Get on-demand access to more than 12,000 EWTN programs, including live shows and specials, all in one place, all free. Just go to EWTN.com/on-demand. There's nothing to fill out, no memberships required, and no fees to pay. All you need is an internet connection, and you're good to go. EWTN On Demand. Fast, easy, and free.
Hey, Take Two family, it's here, and we can't wait for you to see what we've created to help you reach your highest potential in life. It's StandTallToday.com, our brand new website loaded with just the things you're looking for. Those include our team of life coaches, resources picked out just for you, our webinars, book club, and more. Whether you're struggling to find your purpose or feel like you have it pretty much figured out, let us help you today at StandTallToday.com. That's StandTallToday.com.
EWTN, teaching the truth.
Thank you so very much, first of all, for this ministry. You have no idea what a blessing you and EWTN have been in my life and for my life, and I just thank you for that.
Well, first off, I'd like to say God bless you for your ministry, and my wife prayed daily for EWTN. It's a game changer in our world.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
Great to have you with us on this Friday, Unscripted, on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. You bring the topics, you bring your always beautiful insights, wisdom, lived experiences, and we all learn from you, and you inspire the world when you call 833-288-3986. Lot to keep up on nowadays in the news, and we want to get our news in an objective way and even through a Catholic lens, and EWTN has you covered on that with News Nightly. It's tonight and every evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's daily news and analysis from Washington, D.C., bringing you news from a Catholic perspective. 9 p.m. Eastern. That's EWTN News Nightly.
Okay, there's a couple open phone lines, so we always say this on Unscripted. Don't get started with your weekend yet. Please call in at 833-288-3986. Ryan Penny, our call screener, he likes to answer the phones, and he likes full phone lines. And so we aim to please. So please call in. We're going to go first to Tom in Nebraska on Spirit Catholic Radio. Hi, Tom. Welcome.
Hi. How are you today?
Doing well.
Doing well, Tom.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember me. I called back late last year and early last year a couple of times.
Welcome back.
I had to call about, the situation where we're not able to get to Mass and into church. Mm-hmm. My background has been, I don't think I ever told you this, is I was away from the church for over 60 years. And I'm near 80 now, and about 8 months ago, I came back to the church. And I love it. I mean, I see more of it than I ever seen before. But I had 6 heart attacks during that time. And I have seen, I was basically dead on the table at one point, and they brought me back. And I seen, lack of other words, spirits in a way of lights that came to my side. And that brought me back into the church. But I never really gave up on God. I gave up on the church itself. And now that I can't get back into the church, and hear confession and get the sacraments and go to Mass and just be joyed about it.
Right.
I began praying more during this time, but it's kind of like sliding backwards. I'm not able to get to do those things. But I can't say enough about how I feel. I pray every day, probably a total of, I pray about an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, and off and on during the day. I even pray while I'm driving. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. I called one time and told you about the simplest prayer, about just saying Jesus. This has been back probably 6-8 months ago. But that's the simplest prayer I know. And, God said if you ask anything to the Father in His name, you shall receive. Mm-hmm. So I use that and just say Jesus 3 times and ask for the release of the souls in purgatory, relief of the sick, the dying, the graces. But I do all that I can, but I can't do it all alone. I need the masses. I need the sacraments.
Right,
and it's kind of hard out here in rural Nebraska to get those things. Father does his best. He has 3 parishes that he has to attend to. And so we only get to see him once or twice at the most per week. And so it's difficult to start with, but this made it almost impossible at times. Mm-hmm. But I just want to say that don't give up. God's with us. Jesus is with us. The Holy Mother is with us. Our guardian angels are with us. All the saints, just ask them. They will come to your rescue.
That's right, Tom.
I pray to my guardian angel every day. I pray to the Mother every day. And pray to the Holy Trinity every day. And especially when I pray to Mary and the guardian angel, I can feel them. I get chills, not chills, but tingling up and down my back. And every time I pray to them, they seem like they come and comfort me.
Yeah.
And it's the most gracious feeling I ever have and could have. And I just want to say, pray to God, pray to the angels. Mm-hmm. Your guardian angels can do so much for you. And
well, yours, Tom, forgive me for interrupting you there, but your guardian angel was clearly working very, very hard on you for those 60 years. And what a great gift you have received. See, God's patience and his mercy and his love never fail, like you said. And nobody is outside of the reach of God's love. And God bless you, Tom. You just came back in the church, like you said, about 8 months ago. And all of a sudden, the sacramental rug, if you will, has been pulled out from underneath you. And as he's talking, Debbie, I'm thinking of those who were going to come into the church at this Easter, and God willing, they are all holding up patiently and persevering, but have to be longing so very, very deeply to receive the sacraments, especially the Eucharist.
Oh, absolutely. And Tom, we can hear it in your words. I mean, your emotions are coming through. Your heart is radiating out through your words. And Tom, I just have to say, it's so obvious. It is so obvious the love you have for Jesus. And how you feel about the church. You're alive in the church. It is so beautiful to hear you speak. You can just hear it. It's coming directly from your heart right to our ears, and we're getting it, Tom. But I have to tell you, when you shared about the guardian angels, that's near and dear to me. I know you listen to the show. It's near and dear to me. But the way you spoke about it, the way you said you can actually feel the Blessed Mother's presence and the angels, because it's real. It's real. It's not a superstitious thing. It's not a game. It's not a trick. It's not anything. It's real. And they are real, and they're alive, and they're working in your life. And so I pray for you, Tom, that you continually feel that around you, because it is real. And I hope that carries you along until we're able to all get back to the sacraments, Tom.
Let me say one more thing, that I almost went to the Lutheran church, but the thing that turned me away was the Blessed Mother. I could not give her up. The Lutherans don't have a special place for her. And she is very, very special to me. I say the rosary twice a day for her to help me. And I would not give her up for anything. I wouldn't give up the angels and the saints. I just can't say enough how much it means to me personally. But there's so much to the Catholic religion that I'm understanding more and more of. I was raised Catholic, went to a Catholic school, but I just could not give it all away. And so I do miss it. I try to go into the church. I can't, say, being almost 80, I'm not able to get out as much anyways. But I go to at least, or try to once a day, just to sit and pray, and just to sit and be in God's presence. I know He's everywhere. He's in my house and everything else. But there is just the peace and quiet of God. And His presence means so much to me. And now it's just different when I go there. It just seems like there's something missing. Even though I can get in and I can pray and everything, but it just seems like there's still something not quite right.
Well, Tom, I think so many of us are feeling that, and I'll tell you what. What's interesting, what you're sharing, the words you're using. So many folks that come back to the Catholic faith, the first thing they feel is their home, and it is their home. And like Jerry said, when he used that phrase that when the sacramental rug kind of got pulled out from under us just temporarily because of this coronavirus, it shakes us all up. It makes us realize that we have to use other ways and prayers and devotions and things that we can do to keep that faith alive until we're ready to receive the sacraments again. But Tom, I just have to say this real quickly. While you were speaking, many messages were coming in saying, "Oh my goodness, we love Tom. Send him a hug, send him a hug." So I hope it's okay, Tom. We're sending you virtual Take-Two hugs to you, Tom. The family is just loving what you have to say. So God bless you for starting off our beautiful unscripted conversation in such a just a really moving way, Tom. You're pretty awesome. So thank you.
Beautiful call, Tom. Thank you. Our prayers are with you, and please do call us again. Don't wait 8 months or however long it's been since you called last time. It's our unscripted show on this last Friday of the month on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, and the number is 833-288-3986. Joanie is next, and she is listening in San Angelo, Texas on Guadalupe Radio Network. Hi, Joanie. Welcome to Take Two.
Hi, Joanie.
Hi. God bless you both.
And you.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen. Praise his name.
How are you?
I am very shy and trying to be brave.
So far, so good.
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, thank you. I'm a first-time caller. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, we're here. Go ahead. We're just waiting.
Oh, okay, okay.
Welcome to the program.
I want to, yes, thank you. I've only been listening to this show since about January. I'm very new to all of this. So I'd like to commend you both. I want to keep this as lighthearted as possible. Jerry, I commend you for your bravery in speaking of your experience when you were 10 years old. I, too, was a victim, and from before that, but I called one day when you said that, and then I hung up because I got scared. So I'm being brave today.
Yes, you are.
I commend you for being so calm when you speak of it. You are very brave. Debbie, I'm very interested in the way you speak so bravely about guardian angels. I would like to ask for intercession of the saints and angels. I'm trying to keep this very, very lighthearted. I was a parochial school student before I had to go to public school after ninth grade. So I had a very strong Catholic upbringing from the very beginning. I'm in the... I love the way you both two interact. It's just so refreshing, and I thank you for being very patient with me. Like I said, I'm new to all of this, and I get nervous. I've heard some of your other callers be very nervous, so I'm trying very hard. One of the things, I don't want this to be a downer, but I was told my lineage is sort of on the brink of war, that it's wrong to pray to or ask for saints' intercession. So I'm caught in the middle of, I guess, what both of you call spiritual warfare. So I'll say it again. I'm trying to be brave. I was told that it's going to be harder for me in the next world. I'm still trying to hang on by a thread in this world. So I'm not quite sure what the next world means, but I'm still hanging on. I know it's supposed to be heaven.
Well, Joanie, if I can just interject for a second there, just because you said something very important. I think someone has led you to believe that, as you said, the next life is going to be more difficult or something like that. But then you said you think it's supposed to be heaven. Absolutely it is. If we have to spend some time being purified of the last vestiges of self-love or sin that we have held on to, that's called purgatory. And there is pain there, but that's only pain that helps us rid ourselves of any bit of self-love and fills us completely with the love of God. So there's still joy for those who are in purgatory as well. But Debbie, she's absolutely right. Heaven, it's not going to be harder than this life. Jesus said, eye has not seen, ear has not heard,
That's correct. And Joanie, I just wanted to say, you gave us kind of both a virtual bravery award, but I want to throw the bravery award right back to you. Okay, you are so eloquent. You're so beautiful. What a beautiful soul you are. You have graced this conversation. And I just want to say, Joanie, your interest in the angels and the saints, well, they have an interest in you. Okay, and so let's talk a little bit more about that. If you can hang on with us, you hear that music, okay? We're just going to we're going to hit the pause button, Joanie, but if you can hang on, we'd like to add some more comments to this because this is a beautiful call, and I think it's very much meant to be on Unscripted today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We'll be right back.
Mother Angelica.
We have to get back into our hearts and mind the value of life. If you don't care about the unborn, I don't think you're going to care about the elderly.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
The best way to pray is simply to open our minds and our hearts to God, to allow His presence to begin to fill us, to restore us, to refresh us, to make us new. The best way to pray is simply to be aware of that presence and to say yes to it, to give fiat to that presence as our Blessed Lady did. In that way, we delight in prayer, and God Himself delights in us.
The Reason for Our Hope with Father Larry Richards.
Do you know Christ? Do you know Him intimately? Like you know your wife, like you know your best friend, like you know your children. And if the answer in your heart of hearts is no, I haven't a clue, then you haven't even begun yet to live the purpose of your life. And that's what needs to start happening. You gotta deal with that question. It's the most important question of your life. And again, it's gonna take you time. How do you fall in love with anybody? Those of you who are married, you didn't get married to your wife by meeting her once and giving her 45 minutes to an hour once a week. You spent time with her. You got to know her. So the same thing has to happen with God. You got to ask that question, and it's going to take you time, but you got to do it. You got to answer that question. My thing is always seek truth, because truth will always lead you to God.
Monday on More to Life. You got this.
Worried about the week ahead? We're going to help you regain your confidence.
Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, Friday, Unscripted at 833-288-3986. We continue with Joanie in San Angelo, Texas. Joanie, thank you for holding on. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on what Debbie shared with you. I appreciate your very kind comments about me, how I've shared openly about the sexual abuse that I experienced at about the age of 10. And you shared the same. And I pray huge, huge healing for you and grace and even peace and joy in your life over that experience. But what Debbie kind of turned it back around to you, Joanie. You said you were nervous at the start. You have been great on the phone here. And we just think the world of you too, Joanie.
Thank you. Hello? Are you there?
We're here, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep, we're here.
Okay. I wanted to preface why I'm so nervous so that you'll understand. I'll listen to this on the radio. I don't have television service, so I've never seen this on EWTN, and I don't have internet, and I don't have a smartphone or any social media, telephone service or any social media contact.
Wow.
I'm sort of a dinosaur in that area.
You're kind of lucky, actually, Joanie.
I was just going to say you're really blessed, actually. Well, we hope you continue to listen to this show. You're part of the Take Two family, and folks, we care about one another. We pray for each other round the clock, and we're so glad that you were able to listen to this show. And it sounds like you resonate with what you've heard on this show, and we want to grow together. Joanie, it's all about locking arms together and focusing towards God and just walking together, because that's how we build up the mystical body of Christ. And we really believe it. And we've been doing the show for almost 5 years, Joanie, and it's huge. And we love it because we get to walk with one another. So we hope you'll walk with us.
Yes, I've learned so much from this. See, I came from way over here in West Texas, that, our churches here, if you have just a few more, I know there's other callers. Look, sure. I've been rehearsing this every day, trying to be brave.
You are. You're doing
I
great.
thank you both so much. I came from these little out in the woods kind of churches, and also a church from the middle of the city, but, old church festivals. So like large gatherings, I have been listening to the different things coming in, and, I came from, for example, the Catholic Church, where we all go, we work till our feet are hurting. One of the church festivals, it takes 9,000 pounds of sausage for the church festivals where they feed, where we work. And that's just one example.
Hmm.
And May crowning, I adore Mary, Queen of Heaven. I just wanted to give some examples of where I was coming from, and that just asking for a little bit of gentle help, and that I've learned so much from your different callers, and I've looked forward to this now every day.
Well, Joanie, thank you for your kind thoughts and words, and you did a great job. Don't be bashful about calling our show again or any other program. And I'll just close by saying I love the fact that you brought our Blessed Mother into it again, like Tom did, our first caller, because Jesus she wants nothing more than for us to know Jesus, and Jesus has no problem with us giving her veneration and praying to Jesus through her. The analogy I like to use, it's like an artist, Debbie, who has an art gallery. If people were to walk in and they just followed the artist around and were just staring at him, a whole group of 25 people just staring at the artist, he'd go, I want you to look at my work. You came here to look at my work, not me. Of course, he is the artist. He put it together. Jesus is the creator. He made Mary and he made all of us. But he wants us to look at the beauty of a sunset. He wants us to look at nature and one another and see the beauty in one another. And he wants us to see the beauty in his Blessed Mother as well. So thank you, Joanie. Bless you. You're going to go with our prayers, and please keep us in yours. Thank you.
Yes, and please call us again, Joanie. Thank you so very, very much. Wow, great call. Okay, we've had 2 great calls from Tom and Joanie, and now let's hear what Joe has to say in Raleigh, North Carolina on Divine Mercy Radio. Hi, Joe. You were on yesterday and you called back, and so we put you at the front of the line, right?
Yes, you did.
Good.
Welcome, Joe.
Thank you. I heard, I didn't even know what number to call, and you guys just kept repeating it over and over again, and
tell that to our boss.
I wrote it down, and then I just pressed send. What?
Tell that to our boss. They always want to make sure we give the phone number out enough.
Well, you did a great job yesterday, because I was really
praise
nervous.
God.
And you said that, if you felt the urge to call in. And
yeah,
I did. And so yesterday the topic was, how has the coronavirus affected your spirituality? And at the beginning of Lent, my dad, he always used to give up alcohol for Lent. So that's what I decided to do too. And just right before the coronavirus started happening, they asked me and my wife and my kids if we'd like to go to church. And we hadn't been in a while. And I thought, why not? So we went to a nice vigil mass together, and it was really good. And I really felt peace there. And then the whole, gathering band thing started to happen, and that I don't know. But anyways, so I started listening to EWTN, and I started watching, the Mass online in the morning, and I was really, struggling with giving up alcohol for Lent. Not only because people couldn't stop talking about Corona all the time, but it was also tough because it was really stressful on me. And there's a lot of times where I face temptation to drink and to give up on that promise I had made to God for Lent. And I made it. The whole way. And while it was happening, I had some great moments where God let me know that He was in my life. I was experiencing temptation one day, and I just thought of the three brothers in that furnace that Nebuchadnezzar started. It was like a bonfire. Even the guys who were tending it were getting killed, and these guys just sat in there with this angel, right? And they were singing praise to God, and I just thought about that. It's like you have to trust God and to feel the burn of withdrawal, basically, or living without your safety blanket or whatever it is, living without that numbness. You just have to feel it, and God will save you through that. So I was drinking a lot before Lent, and I was able to do it, and I don't have that urge anymore, and God came in and saved me.
Praise God.
And I'll let you guys talk, but there's a part 2 to this about guardian angels that has to do with Debbie. But I don't know if you want to say anything about that or what.
Yeah, you can't leave me in suspense. Go ahead, Jerry.
Well, just real quick, this is a wonderful call, Joe, and you just alluded to something that is so important, and that is if we have things that we are attached to, addicted to, whatever the proper word may be, we do have to feel the pain of that to sort of move through it. I mean, if we're leaving something behind, there is going to be often a pain, a loss, a loneliness. People often talk about addictions as being your friend, my best friend. And it's like losing a friend, really. But I'm reminded again, Debbie, and I've said this on the air so many times, that the passages in Scripture where Jesus says whoever tries to save his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life will save it. He's a great psychologist, because what are we doing when we turn to addictions? We're just trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to get out of pain. We're trying to save our lives. And in so doing, we lose it. So anyway, go ahead, Debbie and Joe, you want to talk about guardian angels for a while?
I totally agree with everything Jerry was sharing, and I'd like you to comment on that, Joe. But I just wanted to go back to I believe I heard you, if I heard it correctly, that your parents asked you to go to Mass right before the coronavirus and kind of the shutdown of everything. And I just want to say, that is so incredible. That is so God. That is how God works. And I'm so grateful that you said yes and took your family there, and now you're watching Mass on TV. Beautiful, Joe. Your story is unfolding in such a marvelous way, and it's a God-driven way, and I think it's really wonderful. But go ahead, make your comments on what we had to say, and then please get into the guardian angels.
Sure. So, yeah, totally. And it fits in with the theme, that I've been experiencing, and that's been confirmed by my angel for Lent, is that, it's about sacrifice. St. Paul says that Christ came here to set our freedom free, and that's the way to do it. No other religious leader has suffered for the ones that he loves, like Jesus has. And I think there's something important about the price he paid and the price that we have to pay, especially during times like now. And obviously, what we're experiencing is nothing compared, but those small sacrifices that you can make right now during this virus and, in your life in general, and especially when it comes to an addiction, really, really makes a difference, and it brings God into your life. So, but anyways, so I thought that morning, and when I went to go watch Mass, I randomly felt like I wanted to watch EWTN Mass that day. I've never watched it before, and I watched it, and they did a sermon. Well, it wasn't a sermon, but one of the readings was that exact same passage that I had thought about and my moment of temptation that same day. it was the same passage. And I mean, it takes like 3 years for us to get through the Bible, right? There's year A, B, and C. And I just was blown away by that confirmation. It was the story about the three brothers and Nebuchadnezzar. And so fast forward like a week or two, I'm listening to Debbie on the radio talking about guardian angels, and I'm so sorry. I am a very reasonable person, and because I'm so reasonable, I was thinking that guardian angels didn't exist. And I remember my mom growing up, she'd always ask her guardian angel for a parking spot or whatever, and then she'd find one, and my friends would all go wide-eyed, and I would just shake my head.
You roll your eyes.
Yeah, well, this is mumbo jumbo, and so anyways, it basically, she was talking about it, and I had brought my catechism. I blew the dust off the bookshelf, and I brought it into my truck. I work in construction, so I drive around in my truck a lot and inspect the site. But I had brought it in my truck to check, what you guys were saying on the radio, and I said, I wonder if guardian angels are real. So I read it in the catechism, and they are, and there's a biblical basis for them. And so I prayed to God. I said, God, let me know who my guardian angel is, because I've heard of people doing that. So I said that prayer, and right before I even finished, I thought of the word Erasmus in my head. And I hadn't even, I don't know how I'd even think of that name. So I Googled it, and on Wikipedia, it was like a 16th century Christian humanist. And so I said, okay, but this guy's not an angel. So, and then I read further about his life, trying to figure out where God was leading me on this. And he was actually named after another Erasmus. So I looked up that guy, Erasmus of Formia, I think it is. And he has an amazing relationship with his guardian angels. It was an angel saved him from prison. Angel kept him alive when he was being persecuted. They tried to kill this guy like 9 times, and his angel kept him alive. And he kept suffering. He kept suffering and sacrificing himself for Christ's message. And it just kind of goes full circle with that confirmation. That I know that's my angel. I know it, and I sound crazy, but it's just another way for God to show us that he's there. And these stories, the reason why I'm calling is it's very important for us to share these stories so that others may see and believe.
Well, Joe, if you can, I know you're super busy doing the work you do, but thank you for blowing off the dust of your catechism and looking up and confirming that angels are real and exist and are based in the Bible. Psalm 91 specifically, Joe, will reference that, and it's such a powerful the psalm is so powerful to meditate on a regular basis. So I would encourage you to do that. Now, Joe, I want to just say this because I studied angels for 13 years. So I need to say this. I'm not discrediting the confirmations you've received. The confirmations about the angels being real are real. And I'm not saying that, but I want, if you can, Joe, if you can email us at take2@ewtn.com, take2@ewtn.com. I want to share a little bit about the beginning of your relationship with your guardian angels, just because it has been recommended by our church not to really seek a name for your angel, because a couple reasons, Joe. We don't have ownership of the angels. That shows that we're kind of over them, and we're not. And sometimes it can be that it's been said that possibly it can be a trick from the dark side of kind of getting us off path. Now, here's the good news, Joe. You had confirmation in what you looked up that it's confirming that this person was into the angels. So that's a good thing, okay? And maybe we have to look at it like that. So you see what I'm saying? I want you to develop your relationship with your guardian angels the way Saint Padre Pio did. And that is just the best way. And that's the tightest, closest friendship you could have with your guardian angels. So if you were willing, Joe, if you could email me, I would happily impart to you some things for you to keep that relationship going. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the direction that it's leading me is toward one of sacrifice, personal sacrifice for others, and I would love to do that. And Saint Erasmus of Formia, he is the patron saint of sailors, and they have a dangerous job too, just like I do. And it's I'll email you and and we can follow up. But I just want to say, my mom is a champion of guardian angels, and my mom's name is Debbie as well.
Oh,
wow. Oh, tell your mother I love her. Yes. And you know what?
I'm going to a very special day for moms today.
Yeah, it sure is. Oh, I love that, Joe. You just made my day. Thank you so much. I look forward to your email. And how beautiful is that? God has great things for you, Joe. I think you know that because you are right on top of it. And I hope you stay with us and we can just journey with you. We like to live vicariously through all the Take Two family. So thank you, Joe.
Great call, Joe. Thank you so much. 833-288-3986. Debbie, our good friend Marianne, wrote in to say she wanted to wish you, your mom, a happy birthday today. It is Debbie's mother, Connie's birthday today. And also, I just wanted to mention, too, real quickly, we got a caller who called in with a prayer suggestion, but I want to mention wings, first of all, if I may, from EWTN. Sure. And as I do that, I didn't have breakfast today, so I mentioned wings and I'm getting hungry, but it's not that kind of wings. You can stay up to date on the latest EWTN
Can't
TV.
Have it on Friday.
No, that's right. The Beyond Wings. If you want the Impossible Wings or Beyond Wings, you can. But Wings from EWTN allows you to stay up to date on the latest TV and radio shows. They have books, art, CDs, DVDs from the religious catalog. So you can sign up for Wings, our weekly e-newsletter at EWTN.com, and stay up to date with EWTN and what's going on.
Beautiful. Thank you, Marianne and Brad. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone that's wishing my mom, Connie. I'm going to read her all the emails and text messages. You guys are awesome. Can you read Caroline real quickly? Of the St. Teresa prayer. Caroline called in. She was so beautiful to call in and share this from Alabama on Guadalupe Radio Network. Go ahead, Jerry.
Well, she just said that, she would like to say that the prayer, I Thirst for You by St. Teresa of Calcutta would really help people in this difficult time, especially those who suffer from anxiety and depression. So look up that prayer, I Thirst for You. I'll tell you, any prayer by St. Teresa of Calcutta has got to be good and will be helpful. Thank you, definitely, Caroline, for mentioning that to us.
Yes, thank you for calling in and waiting to share that with the whole Take Two family. Okay, Mary is up next in Peoria, Illinois. Hi, Mary. Thank you for waiting. Mary, I'm looking. Yes, Mary, you got our Virtual Patience Award today. It's virtual, Mary, but we're going to send it to you.
Yes, you should write it down because this probably won't ever happen again.
Well, bless your heart, Mary. What can we do for you?
I carry a heavy burden. I didn't want to get emotional, but I'll try not to. 26 years ago, I lost my husband to suicide, and there's total estrangement. Debbie, I heard you talk about your relationship with your children is through your angels. I understand. I'd like prayer for them. The youngest is in his late 40s, and the two older ones are in their early 50s, but they're all the way from the church. And this time of year, the anniversary of their father, it's been 26 years, comes around. And with everything that's going on right now, it's almost like let me count the ways. I'd like some prayer from your Take Two people and you for their spiritual, but right now they're mental. And I try to stay vigilant in prayer so nothing trickles down in the bloodline to them. They've had prayer for that without knowing it. And I have too. But I'd like a lot of prayer possibly from everyone for my kids. And my only granddaughter, my daughter, has raised her daughter in a universal Unitarianism. So there's a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering there for my children. So I would appreciate prayer for them during this time. I don't know if they've all still got jobs right now. And, of course, income paying bills, food, medicine. I would appreciate all the help you can give them.
Absolutely. Mary, I just wanted to say first, you can count on the Take Two family to be praying for you and your entire family. So please know that. We also want to say we're so sorry you had to go through the death of your husband taking his own life. That is so painful and has a lasting ripple effect for those that are alive. And you said it was 26 years ago, and still, I'm sure it's hard every single year that you reflect upon that. But Mary, one thing I just want to say, and I know you're doing it, Mary. I know you are, because I could tell that you are a prayerful woman. I get it. But what I would just encourage you to do is on a daily basis, Mary, say, Jesus, I trust in you. And that means that you trust in everything that Jesus stands for. And that includes the communion of saints all around you, and your guardian angels and your children's guardian angels. And you have a support team around you from heaven. So that Jesus, I trust in you speaks volumes, Mary. And it will build your confidence that you may not even see the fruits of all these prayers here on earth, but they're happening, Mary. They're happening. I would guarantee it, Mary. I do guarantee it. I stake my life on it. The prayers are happening. So I hope that brings you comfort, Mary.
Oh, it does. And I'm rediscovering right now again, I call it reading at my Divine Mercy book that I've got, that I've had for a long time, but you could spend the rest of your life reading just that. And I'm looking at the Jesus, I Trust in You. I don't know if you've seen them. They've got like a magnet on the back, and you can put them up on your car. And I'm spending this one is the new one, I think, that was restored. I watched the National Shrine of Divine Mercy Sunday evening. It was absolutely full of facts and tidbits and wonderful things. And I like to sketch, and I like to sketch sacred art. And so that is a time of, it's a different kind of contemplation time for me. While I'm trying to get their image, God is working on getting my image straightened out. So, and inside, it's wonderful. And you're right on. As I'm talking, I'm looking at the image, asking for him to help me get the right words out. So,
well, Mary, you can. I'll echo what Debbie said. The promise of prayers. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that you had sought prayer for the passing down of any sort of spirit of suicide or what have you. I know my mother had to go through that twice, once with her brother, and she was married to a man before my father who took his own life. So I too have sought those healing deliverance prayers for the lineage of our family as well. But you're a strong soul, Mary. You are beautiful. You have graced our program, and we are so thankful that you called in Peoria, and we appreciate it. And please pray for us as you spend so many hours, it sounds like, with God in prayer.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mary. Okay, you hear the music. Michael in Lubbock, Texas, I know you tried to get in touch with us, and I'm going to read this. Hopefully I do this correctly. Michael, you're saying that is a message to me that, yes, you can donate blood even though you've had cancer. Hooray! Us cancer thrivers have made it to the next level. Thank you, Michael, for that. Craig, you have a very fascinating story of your conversion, your faith walk. Please email us at take2@ewtn.com. Jerry, I'm sorry we couldn't get to everybody, but, Monday we do it again with talking about pets.
A little change of pace. Do you have a rescue animal? Have you had an animal that you rescued? Some people say they rescue us. We're going to talk about that on Monday's Take Two with Jerry. Until then, have a beautiful and blessed